First up, Wesley Snipes. This is how Wesley Snipes looked in his action hero days. And here is how he looks today. Wesley Snipes is now 63 years old. Next, we have Tony Jaa. This is what the martial arts phenom looked like in his early films, whereas recently, he looks like this. Tony Jaa has now reached the age of 49. Next up is Dolph Lundgren. We all remember him looking like this, and here is how he looks today. Dolph Lundgren is now 67 years old. Coming in next, Scott Adkins. Scott Adkins used to look something like this, and this is him in recent times. Scott Adkins has now turned 49 years old. Next up, Michael Jai White. This is how Michael Jai White looked in his iconic roles, and here is how he looks today. Michael Jai White is now 57 years old. Next is the legendary comedian Rowan Atkinson. This is how Mr. Bean himself used to look, and here he is recently. Rowan Atkinson has now reached 70 years of age. Next up, Willem Dafoe. This is what a younger Willem Dafoe looked like, whereas today he looks like this. Willem Dafoe is now 69 years old. Coming in next, Jean Reno. Jean Reno used to look like this. And here he is in a more recent photo. Jean Reno has now turned 76 years old. Next is Kurt Russell. This is how Kurt Russell used to look back in the day. And this is him today. Kurt Russell is now 74 years old. Next up, Tony Leung. The celebrated actor used to look like this. And here's how he looks recently. Tony Leung has now reached the age of 60. Next, we have Peter Weller. This is what the original RoboCop looked like, whereas today, he looks like this. Peter Weller is now 77 years old. Next up is Michael Ironside. Michael Ironside used to look like this, and here he is today. Michael Ironside has now turned 75 years old. Coming in next, Lance Henriksen. This is how Lance Henriksen looked in his classic films, and this is him in recent times. Lance Henriksen is now 85 years old. Next up, David Hasselhoff. This is the David Hasselhoff we remember from Baywatch, and here's how he looks today. David Hasselhoff has reached the age of 70. Next, we have Gary Busey. Gary Busey used to look like this, whereas recently, he looks like this. Gary Busey is now 79 years old. Next up, Martin Lawrence. This is how Martin Lawrence looked in his Bad Boys era, and here he is today. Martin Lawrence has now turned 60 years old. Coming in next, Clive Owen. This is how Clive Owen used to look, and here's how he looks recently. Clive Owen is now 59 years old. Next is Keegan-Michael Key. The popular comedian used to look like this, and this is him in recent times. Keegan-Michael Key has now reached the age of 50. Next up, Alan Ritchson. This is what a younger Alan Ritchson looked like, and this is him today, as Reacher. Alan Ritchson is now 40 years old. Next, Boyd Holbrook. This is how Boyd Holbrook used to look, whereas recently he looks like this. Boyd Holbrook has now turned 41 years old. Next, we remember the late Patrick Swayze. This is how we all remember the iconic star. Patrick Swayze sadly passed away at the age of 57. Next, we honor Brandon Lee. This is from his tragically short but memorable career. Brandon Lee passed away at the young age of 28. Next, the legendary Sonny Chiba. This is how the martial arts master looked in his prime. Sonny Chiba passed away at the age of 82. Next, we remember Carl Weathers. This is the iconic Apollo Creed. Carl Weathers sadly passed away at the age of 76. Next, a tribute to Alain Delon. This is the legendary French actor in his heyday. Alain Delon passed away at the age of 88. And next, we remember Powers Booth. This is how the veteran actor used to look. Powers Booth passed away at the age of 68. Next, Michael Dudikoff. This is the American Ninja himself. And here is how he looks today. Michael Dudikoff has now reached the age of 71. Next up, Jeff Speakman. The martial artist used to look like this, whereas recently he looks like this. Jeff Speakman is now 64 years old. Next, Don the Dragon Wilson. This is the kickboxing world champion in his action movie days, and here is how he looks recently. Don Wilson is now 65 years old. Next up, Gary Daniels. This is how Gary Daniels used to look, and here he is today. Gary Daniels has now turned 61 years old. Next, Lorenzo Lamas. The renegade himself used to look like this, and this is him in recent times. Lorenzo Lamas is now 65 years old. Next is the iconic villain, Al Leong. This is how we remember him from his classic roles, and here's how he looks today. Al Leong is now 77 years old. Next up, Jason Patric. This is how Jason Patric looked in his early career, and here's how he looks recently. Jason Patric has reached the age of 57. Next is Bill Duke. This is the imposing actor from his Predator days. And here is how he looks today. Bill Duke is now 82 years old. Next up, Scott Glenn. This is how the veteran actor used to look, and here he is in recent times. Scott Glenn is now 85 years. Next up, Sammo Hung. This is the martial arts legend in his prime. And here's how he looks today. Sammo Hung is now 73 years old. And finally, Lee Majors. This is the $6 million man himself. And here's how he looks today. Lee Majors has now reached the age of 86.